Why do so many dogs die before their time? Actress and dog activist Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more issues with dogs' joints, odors, and health than ever before. And after doing a ton of research, she feels there's one place we can look to support any dog's health: their food. So she decided to create something she could actually feel good about feeding her dogs. Superfood Complete by Badlands Ranch is made with over 30 of the healthiest ingredients on the planet, including premium protein-packed beef, nutrient-dense organ meat, heart-healthy salmon, gut-healthy vegetables, and several superfoods vital to your dog's health. And because high-heat cooking can add unhealthy things to your dog's food, Superfood Complete uses air drying, so it gets cooked low and slow. This means it has the convenience of kibble, but the health benefits of whole foods. If you want your dog to experience all these incredible benefits, go to badlandsranch.com/save50 right now to get up to 50% off your order and a 90-day money-back guarantee. Again, that's BADLANDS ranch.com/save50 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary.
When personal finance connects you to both your funds and the stuff that matters, that's money. And that's Cash App. Know what else is money?
Using Cash App to request that $50 your cousin owes you.
Actually, finally, getting that $50.
Easily divvying up those pizza and wing checks before your boys have a chance to slip out.
Tipping the delivery guy when you're flat out of cash.
Hearing an awesome musician on the train home and tipping their cash tag.
Sending everyone in your family group chat $1 just because.
Splitting the cost of tickets to that really expensive sporting event you were afraid you were going to have to foot the bill for.
Watching your paycheck grow without you lifting a finger.
Collecting all that money for your fantasy football winnings.
Or at least easily shelling out that money for your fantasy football dues.
Getting paid to read a wonderful ad script from my good friends at Cash App.
Sending, spending, saving, splitting, tipping, donating, gifting, or just typing numbers, all with the #1 finance app in the App Store. That's money. That's Cash App.
Download Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today to create your own cash tag.
All right, HBCU Legends fans, it's Coyote Mosley here with Coach Daryl Steward, and we got special guest Ralph Cooper on the line. How you guys doing, man?
Oh, doing quite well, and thanks for having me. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Coop. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mr. Moses. Good morning, Coop.
All right.
Good.
We're going to talk.
Mr. Coach.
he can't get that Mr. Cooper out of his mind. So.
He was all right today. Go ahead. I'm just messing with it.
All right, guys. We're going to talk about what happened in the SWAC Championship. And we're going to talk about this coaching carousel that's going on in HBCU football. But also we got to talk about what's that crowd out at Jackson. Wasn't what we thought it should have been and could have been. But before we go into that, guys, don't forget to follow us at hbculegends.net on Sports Illustrated. And you can check out all of our articles covering HBCU sports, as well as go to our HBCU Legends site on YouTube, where we have special exclusive interviews with Coach Dishman, Coach McDowell, as well as gold medalist Jordan Childs this past week. Okay. All right, guys. The SWAC Championship happened yesterday, and Jackson State defeated Southern, and it wasn't even close in that second half. It was close at halftime, 10-10, but Southern came away with the victory, 41-13. Coach, what's your thoughts?
Well, Kyle, I'm going to say this. Both coaches deserve a lot of respect, a lot of accolades for getting their teams in the championship game. But I'm going to say it was a poorly game plan by Southern University. I was very shocked at the game plan that they put forward on the championship stage. And I just thought, going into the game, and me as a coach, the great Eddie Robinson always taught me, great teams, you got to take something away from them. And Southern didn't do that. Knowing Jackson has the best running back in the league, and they didn't take the run game away. I was very shocked, Coach Graves, and the game plan that they put forth against Jackson. It just didn't look like a championship status. And so, to Jackson gonna be Jackson. They did exactly what we said they were gonna do, and that's run the ball. But you got to go in and stick 8 or 9 in the box and make the quarterback beat you. I'm shocked that they went in with a game plan like that. But congratulations to them on getting to the championship game. A lot of fans said, "Hey, we just happy to be here." And but you just can't go in if you want to be one of the best in HBCU. You can't go in with a game plan against Jackson like that. And shout out to TC Taylor, man. He deserved everything. Coach of the year. His team is on the roll. I mean, people were saying the draft status of Herb Mulligan. I think he's a first-day kid. I mean, it's just no way a running back. I hadn't seen a running back like that in a long time, Kyle. And so I just want to say, man, shocked about the game plan that Southern put forward. But, hey, congratulations, Jackson, and look forward to going to Atlanta.
Okay.
Well, in my opinion, the Southern Jaguars came out and played they led at one point in the first half. They had a tie at the halftime, and then they went in halftime. They ate hors d'oeuvres. They ate deviled eggs and shrimp, and they didn't come out with a game plan for the second half, and that's where they got out-coached. But if you looked at many of these games involving these SWAC teams, that is what has happened this season. Who does the best job at the halftime? That's one of the reasons I had picked, I'm not bragging, but why not brag? I picked Coach T.C. Taylor as my coach of the year. Jackson State is the team to beat from the start. And he and his staff proved again why they are number one in the SWAC because of the adjustments that they made at the halftime. When some things didn't work for them, they went in another direction. Remember, they changed up at the quarterback position for a moment, and they did some things that enhanced them to win the football game. And the biggest disappointment I had was the marketing of the game. The SWAC officials, starting with the president, Dr. McCullen, they've got to do a better job of marketing the game. They can't just allow the fact that the game is on the Jackson State campus and they're playing Southern University. They can't just allow their mentality to be, we're going to have a big crowd because it's Southern and Jackson. You've got to push people towards your games. You had two great bands playing at the halftime. You could have utilized them in another kind of way. And I'm not going to give away all my marketing secrets on this program or any program, but they had 4 different ways of promoting that football game yesterday. Now, some people are going to say it's the ticket prices, the weather, the economy. People pay for what they want to see. You put the right kind of act out there. You utilize those events that you had going on, and you have more than 23,000 people at your championship game. You had more people over in Dallas for the Prairie View game against Grambling. You had more people for the Alabama State, Alabama A&M game, more people for the Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M games or whatever. And then you have a championship game where you don't draw but 23,000 or 24,000 people. That was what was disappointing to me. Not the game, but the promoting of the game. These people have to get their heads they have to get their heads into 2024, into the 2020s. This is a different type era. You have to promote the games. The next disappointment, if you don't watch it, watch what happens with the championship game for the HBCUs. I know I'm jumping a little bit ahead. You got 2 great teams, Southern, and you got Jackson State going against South Carolina State playing in that game. If those people who are responsible for promoting that game don't do some things beyond ESPN or ABC TV or whatever, you have to take it to another level. If you want to be sorry enough to piss off a great time to take your event to another level by being in the 19 whatevers compared to 2000s and promoting your event and getting young people and people who are at these universities to come out to the event, you're really pissing in the wind.
All right. I have to concur with both of you gentlemen. Look, 23,765 people were recorded as the attendees and spectators of the SWAC Championship. And I was telling this to Coach Coop. I recall when Prairie View went up there to play with Dooley as the head coach. Then the following year, he was the head coach over at Southern. They had more people in the stands.
Right.
But not only that, Coach and Coop, they had more people on the Jackson State side in those games than this game as well. When the camera panned to the Jackson State side, I was shocked to see how sparse the crowd was.
But see, we go back to Deion Sanders. See, the commissioner, they were not promoting this game. They've never really promoted the game. You had Deion Sanders promoting that game.
Yep.
Okay, but it's not T.C. Taylor's job to promote the game, or the coach from Southern to promote the game. It's the conference that has to promote the game. They got lazy, lackadaisical, or whatever you want to call it, in regards to having Deion in the game, and then instead of looking at what he was really doing and then learning how to utilize that to keep crowds coming to the game, they didn't do that.
Yeah, Deion said, I left the blueprint, but nobody has picked it up yet and read the direction. So, you had great players, and we think about this. You had 11 all SWAC players on the Jackson State side. You had one from Southern University. There could have been a spotlight on the players to be able to help out with the marketing. There could have been more of marketing and advertising on the networks as well. I didn't see any of that going on.
Well, but again, I go back, and I know maybe I'm kind of repeating myself, but they don't capitalize on the people who helped them. They don't. Okay, you have a weekly conference with the coaches, which I think is a great thing. But what did you do beyond that to promote this game?
Yeah.
What did you do? I mean, how did you utilize? T.C. Taylor is not a dummy. I mean, in my opinion, he's great for the SWAC, and you should utilize his ability to talk about what they have going on. And we're gonna just throw this game out here. It was like back in the day, they had Ali and Joe Frazier. They didn't just throw them out there; they promoted them.
Right.
They had them on TV, on the radio, newspapers, and everything. So you had two of the biggest icons at that time being publicized. And here we are in 2024. We think we can just throw the game out there. Throw it. Let them promote it the way they want to, or whatever. And the schools fall into the same position of not promoting the game, and they think people are just going to come. You can sit at home and watch the University of Texas. You can watch the University of Oregon. You can watch the Georgia Bulldogs on your couch with a remote button and a bucket full of beer. Why should you get up if you're not going to share with them why should they come to your game if you're not promoting the game? You got to promote.
Yeah.
You know.
Good point. Good point. I agree with you, but we've been talking about the lack of marketing, the lack of finesse, and how to be able to utilize certain elements to be able to help enhance the marketing of the conference as a whole for the past 4 years. So, I mean, this is nothing new in my opinion. I think they could have had a coaches conference call, just the coaches themselves together, not separately like they did, but together. You know, they could have had introduce the offensive player of the year, the defensive player of the year who both played in this game. They could have had those guys as well, with Mulligan as well as Gibbs, but it did not happen. So we'll see. This week coming up, now's the Celebration Bowl. You know?
Well, it's going to be the same thing going to happen. I predict the same thing will happen because they're hard-headed. They don't want to learn. They don't want to listen. See, it was something that the coach from Southern said at one point during the game. He was talking about calling the plays for the players. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? But they were not executing the players, right?
Right.
But we go back. Nobody knows the players. You know, Coach mentioned Mulligan. We may know a few of the players, but they don't really publicize the players. They think they can just get by with saying Southern, Grambling, Jackson State, Texas Southern, they think they can just get by with that. It ain't going that way no more, fellas. You've got to throw those names out there. You've got to promote, like Beck. They know him. They know Manning and all these different people. They know. I mean, you got to throw the. It's just not the coaches. You got to in the schools. You got to throw the players out there. People come to see the entertainment. They ain't come. What coach is going to run a touchdown and make a great catch or make a great tackle?
No, you're absolutely right, Mr. Cooper. That's what we need to go back to with our ADs in the off season. We need to get the development program squared away with the commissioner. Because I'm like you, Mr. Cooper. I'm wondering, do they know how to do that? Because that's the question.
I'm very selective about working with any of them because they're hard-headed and they're in the dark ages when it comes to what we're talking about, and that includes the commissioners. They are more in the dark age because they're the leaders. They're allowing this to happen. They're not. What are the commissioners doing?
That's a great question because now you have SWAC Commissioner McClellan and you got MEAC Commissioner Steels. What are they doing? I tried to reach out to.
I will give Charles credit.
I'm not giving any of them credit, but go ahead.
But you got to give Charles credit. The conference.
What?
With him giving each member $1 million, that had never been done before.
$1 million of what?
Of the conference money. I mean, you know, your athletic departments are not raising any money, so at least the commissioner is giving each school $1 million. That's very hard to do, Ms. Cooper.
Well, that's like being on welfare. You keep giving them money, and they're not going to. They're going to stay in the same place the whole time and look for the check every month, and you still don't. But see, they've got a product. They've got one of the greatest conferences with a great history in the world, from pro football all the way back down through college and even high schools. When you go back and look at where the players are coming from, and they're respected. But in 2024, again, the leadership, in my opinion, in regards to marketing the events, without these outside promoters, they're dead. They need to give every goddamn game. They need to give every game to an outside promoter. Maybe they'll do more. Think about, do you think an outside promoter would have only drew 23,000 people paid or whatever for this game yesterday?
No, they would have been on top of it.
23,000 people? No. That is embarrassing.
Yeah. I was very, very, very shocked to see that state. So, but guys, we will take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 and 2 and further our discussion on the SWAC Championship.
I'm ready to talk about these people this morning.
I see. We'll be back in 2 and 2. Hey guys, the Celebration Bowl is coming up this Saturday with Jackson State versus South Carolina State. But there's so many other great games to be able to select from. So my suggestion is to use the mobile app from Underdog Fantasy. It's my favorite because I get to select my favorite players, select their best stats, and I can choose higher or lower for any of those guys. I get to make the call. So that's like going to say, hey, would Irv Mulligan rush for over 100 yards today? Yes. Higher if I believe that the South Carolina State will limit the Jackson State offense to 2 touchdowns. Lower. It's up to me. But you got to be able to play the way you see fit. So don't forget, you have to be 18 years or older to be able to play, or 19 years or older in Alabama, Nebraska, and as well as Colorado, or 21 and older in Massachusetts or Arizona. Terms apply. If you're concerned about your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, go to 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24-HOPE line at 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play. With the Celebration Bowl ahead, as well as all the college football left in the season, use Underdog for your pick'ems. You make the call, use Underdog. But don't forget, use our promo code HBCU Legends to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Take care and have fun with Underdog. All right, Kyle T. Mosley back with Coach Daryl Steward as well as Ralph Cooper. We are talking about the SWAC Championship and the lack of promotion that went into getting more than 23,000 people into the stands. Coach, you were there. Was it a cold day or, was it a wet day?
Of course it was a little chilly, but the weather was fine. It was kind of like the year with Prairie View. It's a little chilly, but nothing should have stopped the Jaguar Nation from coming and supporting their team. Of course, the Jackson State fans showed up and showed out. They're going to take their 50,000 fans to Atlanta. Some of their fans were saying they were saving their money for Atlanta because they already knew they was going to win. And so, you just, could you have said that economics played a big part in it? Probably so. The tickets were $50. And so, a lot of people complained about that. Parking was $25, $30. So, but nothing stays the same. And so we have to plan for these games. I keep saying to our head coaches and ADs, we have to get with our mayors and our cities. Make sure that your fan base is making a decent amount of money to support these games. You having games week in and week out, and you charging this. You got to understand, this is an extra $500 bill that you're adding to your allowance. So you got to be really, really mindful, and you got to be mindful of what you're doing, because right now, like Kyle and Mr. Coop said, the crowds are not showing up. You got to get who controls the narrative. Eddie Robert used to tell me a long time ago, you got to find out who's controlling the narrative in these situations. And that's what I think is going on.
Well, and I respect what you just said and everything, but I go back. That game, if I'm correct, being in Jackson, Mississippi, some money's come from the city of Jackson, Mississippi for the ball game. And see, we have to get off, in my opinion, the welfare mentality of somebody bailing us out. Okay, you got there's a reason people have marketing firms and PR firms or whatever to help them gather money to enhance their event. You've got to pay some people. You've got to get other people involved. You cannot just think like you've been thinking in the past in regards to your event. You got TV now on ABC and ESPN. You got all kind of different ways to enhance your product, and it's the same old story every time. The players don't get. I'm speaking for the players now. You are going to lose out on the NIL players. If players with NIL hopes are looking to come to the SWAC, they're going to say, no, I'm not going to the SWAC, because they don't have an NIL plan. They're not really, think about it. People are going, the youngsters, we're dealing with the young people now. They're going where they can play before big crowds and get out their names. You had a championship game yesterday that went around the world, and all these great high school football players saw your game and saw the crowd announced at 24,000 people. And then you got a game between Georgia and Texas with 100,000, 70,000, 80,000 people at the game. And then they see, and everybody going to always say, oh, the white man's ice is better. The ice of black people can be better if we worked harder. We don't want to work and get in the trenches anymore and pay the people who know how to market events. There are people out there who know how to. These Kyle is on social media. You got people all over social media and in other areas who have media outlets. You've got to utilize these people and stop being stingy with your money.
Right. We got two of the best, Michael Strahan and Sterling Shop, who have big media outlets right now. These are some people that need to be in Atlanta this week, along with Ricky Smiley. I was at the Magic City Classic in Birmingham. He did the morning show, which was outstanding. It was about 20,000 people out there for that. So, we have HBCU people out there that can do this. But I'm like you, Miss Cool. We got to find ways because we don't want to lose our image and our respect. We got to find a way to get these people to these ball games.
And I go back again. Okay, it's good to have the Sterling Sharps and Michael Strahans and all that going on for you. They had to march on Washington. Everybody knew Dr. King was there and all the other guys, Randolph, Philip Randolph, and all those kind of Adam Clay Power spoke. But there was one individual. They had some individuals there that were in the trenches that nobody really paid any attention to that made it all happen. And that's what you need. That's what they need right now in regards to these black college football events like this one, the 2 championship games. If you're going to have crowds at any of your events, you need to make sure the crowds show up for these events. The championship game of the SWAC, the MEAC doesn't have a championship game anymore. And then the big game between the MEAC champion and the SWAC champion is over in Atlanta. It's being promoted. The gentleman promoting it now has television, and the game has gone up in regards to numbers, et cetera, but it can go up higher with a different kind of thinking. You've got to get the other people. You've got to bring in your Maynard Rustins and those type people that nobody know nothing about. You've got to have the people on the ground promoting your game and generating people towards your game. You got 2 great coaches. Sure, you got Berry against Taylor.
Right.
But who's going to show out? Who's going to make the big tackles? Who's going to make the great catches and throw the long touchdown passes? That's what I'm talking about. See, we don't do enough of that. We do too little of that, and then we want to wonder why is it some kid leaves an HBCU and goes off to another school because hey, they're going to get more publicity. The name is going to be thrown out there.
Right. Well, you know, and last but not least, Stephen A. Smith. You know, Winston-Salem product. It's no way he shouldn't be on the platform in Atlanta. And I think the commissioner has some great things lined up for Atlanta.
Well, I think I'm about to take a trip to the moon.
Well, here's my question. Here's my question, Coach. Yeah, but here's my question, Coach.
Okay.
How do you know that Commissioner McClellan has something lined up?
Well, last year, if you can recall, they had 50,000 in the Celebration Bowl. It was a big number. They brought Disney in, which was good. And I believe that Friday night it was some type of battle of bands, local high school. I don't know.
That's not McClellan. That's not McClellan.
Okay.
That's not McClellan. That's John Grant from ESPN Events. Those are the ones who are producing the Band of the Year. That's the night before. Also, the SWAC Hall of Fame induction goes on that same night across the street from Mercedes-Benz
But you're talking about the Celebration Bowl now, right?
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm talking about all centered around the Celebration Bowl. So we're going to have Charlie Neal going in. Coach McNair is going in, as well as Pete Richardson is going in as well. So where's all that being played out? And are they hoping the media is going to just pick it up and announce it? You know, I may do that, but how many other other young men or other young talented journalists going to do it unless you put out PR announcements and press releases that they can be able to pick it up? Those are the things that I think is missing, because there's a lot of events that's going to happen, but if you didn't get the initial ESPN PR release that happened 2 months ago, you're going to be left in the dark.
Right. But see, Coach, you were at the game this past weekend, right?
Right.
Did they have what did they have? Did they have a battle of the bands, a step show or something, of a crawfish eat out or something, a crawfish, who could eat the most crawfish or whatever contest before the game? What did they do before the game?
Any activations before the game?
They did have a parade. They had a parade.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a parade. I mean, the city of Jackson made good money. But here's the thing: they did honor the SWAC is involved with Google. Google is $1 billion, platform, And so they did honor Google at halftime, which gave checks to both of the schools. So, and then of course, General Motors out of Detroit, big corporation. And so, maybe they're content. It could be more out there. Everybody, they stood up on Google, being a part of the HBCUs now. So, and they know Google has the money. So I don't know. I do know the commissioner is in these loops with these big companies. And so, it might take a little more time for the ones that we want. But
how long, Coach? They're saying is how long? How long? Not long, but long. But we've been hearing that for years, Coach. Think about it. And see, then you think about this. You got high school teams down here in Texas. They invite, for an example, they bring all of the young kids to the game. I'm talking about the kids who are like in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade. They bring, if they're playing a big game in NRG Stadium, say a playoff game, they'll bring all the kids from their neighborhood and school to the game because they want their kids to be exposed to what's ahead for them, not just playing football, and not just playing football out in their neighborhood, but you get rewarded by playing a game in this kind of building, the NRG Stadium. So now I go back to this. You got all those empty seats in Jackson, Mississippi at a SWAC Championship football game where you've got a chance to introduce a young Daryl Steward, a young Kyle Mosley, or Ralph Cooper to SWAC football. You see what I'm saying? You can let them kids, if you're not going, you didn't sell it out. You knew beforehand. Invite all the kids with their little youth football jerseys on, or high school jerseys on. They get in free to the game, and you fill the stadium up, and then you are also exposing your product to them in regards to their futures. They may want to come to your school, but they don't know nothing about you. The seats are empty. I turn on TV, I see empty seats in the stadium, which there shouldn't have been no empty seats in that stadium for a game of that magnitude, and a game like the one coming up. South Carolina State, on paper, listen to Kyle why they say. Kyle, introduce the game, the two teams and the coaches. Let me hear you do
it. Well, on Saturday, December 14th, inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, we're going to have the Jackson State Tigers going against South Carolina State Bulldogs for the right to be called the HBCU National Champions.
See how that sounds, Coach?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. If I see an empty seat in the building, if I see an empty seat in the stadium, I'm disappointed. It should be standing room only because look at the product. The historical South Carolina State against the historical Jackson State, which also takes something as Mississippi.
Yep.
Going against South Carolina. You see what I'm saying? And
a first-year head coach in Division I going against a second-year head coach. Two emotional and passionate football coaches who have inspired their teams to be able to get to this point to be called the best in the nation, right?
And again, it's time that these people running these events, if I was going to next year, if I was promoting these individuals, I would take them and sit them in the stands at the Cotton Bowl or the Rose Bowl or one of the championship game for college football. They need to be, these blacks who are running these situations, they need to be programmed. Their program is in the dark ages again.
Who produced that Georgia, the SEC championship game yesterday? What station was that?
I think that was ABC.
If that was ABC, so that's a part of the ESPN family, right? The ESPN network. You're right. I would have had Chennis Berry sitting in that stands. You're right.
I'm talking about the promoters too, the people, the commissioners more so than the coaches. I think the coaches have the message. I think the two coaches that are playing in the championship game they've got the message. But I go back, do the commissioners have the message? Do the commissioners know what they're doing? Do the commissioners really understand the magnitude of what they have? Do you think do they really understand you have a conference that you're represented that's goes all the way up into Canton, Ohio. You can walk into Canton, Ohio. You're going to see some representation from the MEAC and the SWAC. You can look at the rosters now. The numbers are picking up in the NFL. And then you go to other football outlets and you see your products. But then you go, the biggest disappointment to me, again, I go back, the commissioners. The commissioners. To me, you remember how people said in the last election for president they had no choice?
No, Morgan. Mm-hmm.
Not bringing politics into this, but doing it. I really have no choice. Look at it.
Well, I mean, those are great points, man. And we're
I don't think you understand, Kyle.
No, I do understand, Coop.
Kyle, I think you I don't think you understand.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back.
I know, get you some water.
Yeah, gotta get some water, get some aqua. Gotta let Coach get a couple of brewskis in. He'll be all right. So we'll be back into it too. Thank you. Hey guys, the Celebration Bowl is coming up this Saturday with Jackson State versus South Carolina State. But there's so many other great games to be able to select from. So my suggestion is to use the mobile app from Underdog Fantasy. It's my favorite because I get to select my favorite players, select their best stats, and I can choose higher or lower for any of those guys. I get to make the call. So that's like going to say, hey, would Irv Mulligan rush for over 100 yards today? Yes. Higher if I believe that the South Carolina State will limit the Jackson State offense to 2 touchdowns. Lower. It's up to me. But you got to be able to play the way you see fit. So don't forget, you have to be 18 years or older to be able to play, or 19 years or older in Alabama, Nebraska, and as well as Colorado, or 21 and older in Massachusetts or Arizona. Terms apply. If you're concerned about your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, go to 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24-HOPE line at 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play. With the Celebration Bowl ahead, as well as all the college football left in the season, use Underdog for your pick'ems. You make the call, use Underdog. But don't forget, use our promo code HBCU Legends to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Take care and have fun with Underdog. All right, Kyle T. Mosley back with Coach Daryl Steward as well as Ralph Cooper. All right, we've been talking for the past half hour about the marketing of the SWAC as well as the Celebration Bowl. Any last thoughts, guys?
Coach, you want to go first? I'll let you go first. You can go first if you would like.
I mean, congratulations to T.C. Taylor again on the job he's done. And, of course, Irv Mulligan, Travis Terrell, Jacoby and Morgan, and even the backup quarterback that came in and was electrifying yesterday, Zay McDonald. These young men have lived up to the task and doing an outstanding job at Jackson State. All of them got awards. And so, just an unbelievable job that they did yesterday, man. Staying focused week in and week out. That's hard to do. And it's just a testimony on what Coach Taylor put before these young men, and they lived up to it. And, congratulations. I wanted to say this earlier on in the show, but these are the things that lead our leaders into big situations. What I mean by that is congratulations to Coach Willie Simmons.
Hold on, Coach. Pump your brakes. Pump.
Go ahead.
I was going to be talking about that. I said, any last thoughts on the Celebration Bowl?
Any last thoughts?
I say on the Celebration Bowl, and see, he trying to take over the notes. That's all right, Coach. I got it.
But congratulations to Coach Willie Simmons.
See, he kept going on with it. All right, go on, Coach.
Go ahead on.
Go on, Coach. Go on, man.
I'm gonna just throw. I want to throw this in. Congratulations to Coach Willie Simmons also. Now I'm out of. Go ahead.
Well, I'll let you finish it then, Coach.
I'm not finishing on him, but congratulations on him.
But congratulations to Coach Simmons on becoming the head coach at Florida International University, the former head coach at FAMU. And so, and congratulations to all the head coaches on the job well done this year, and wish them nothing but the very best.
Okay, so let me
go ahead.
Let me say this. I think when you look at all of these programs, from the 25 championships, SWAC championships that Grambling State has had, the 19 from, the 20 from Southern, now the 20 from Jackson State. We're talking about great programs, right? And we're talking about great storied programs. And it was also surprising to see that Alcorn has 13 and Prairie View has 11 of those SWAC championships. So we're talking about some good inside the SWAC blue blood type of programs that should be mentioned every year in that championship conversation. Are we falling through the cracks when it comes to marketing? I think in a lot of ways, yes, you're correct. But also, I think we got to get rid of this animosity that's inside of HBCU media and journalism that the commissioners have against certain people as well. If you want, because if people are helping you to promote your product, be more accommodating. Be more willing to accept calls, to make comments to help your product out, because those people have fan bases also. That's very important, as well as some of these ADs. They're the same way. They they play you off or be snooty about who they want to talk to, and we've got to get into a mindset of being more inclusive than just exclusive with certain people. So that's the one thing I would say. And but
do I get to make a last comment?
Yeah, go ahead, Coop. Go ahead.
Now mine is this. You got 7 or 8 HBCU jobs, head football coaching jobs still open. Now correct me if I'm wrong. 7 or 8 still open at this particular. Hopefully some of the individuals who will be considered for these jobs are people who have paid their dues in regards to the respective conferences that they're in and HBCU football. Hopefully they'll look at HBCU football coaches to fill these positions. In regards to the state of Texas, we have a job opening over at Prairie View A&M University. The athletic director, Anton Goff, has decided to run Bubba McDowell and not bring him back in under a new contract. But in the process, he goes out and he hires a private agency to help select the nominees who should be considered for the job. My thing is, you've got capable people around you who are more aware of your program, the history and the culture that you have in regards to football in your campuses, than to spend some unnecessary funds when you claim you can't enhance your coaches with dollars. You spend unnecessary funds going out hiring these different agencies to help you, and that's a waste, in my opinion. That's a waste, and the athletic director at Prairie View should step up and get his own damn committee and help him get a coach in a situation, because what I'm hearing down here, hey, I'm not letting my kid go. I don't want to hear from anybody from Prairie View until they get a head football coach. Now, I've heard that at several of these high school football playoff games over the last 2 weekends, and hopefully that will be rectified soon.
Okay. All right. So, as I was going to segue into Coach Simmons getting his job, Coach, thank you very much. So
I stole it from
that was the next topic, and also you, Coach Coop. Thank you very much for the vacancies. I was going to talk about that as well. So, but
Well, you shouldn't bring in great minds.
Great minds. That's right.
Hey, Coop, he know he's dealing with heavyweights, Coop.
Hey, man, sure. I can go toe and toe, baby. But in all seriousness, congratulations to Willie Simmons for being selected as FIU's new head coach. He's very excited himself. Posted commentary yesterday morning, as well as early as this morning, saying farewell to Duke University for his 1-year stint as the running back coach at that institution. As far as the HBCU coaching vacancies right now, we have one that has already been filled. When A&T earlier this week, they let go Vincent Brown from his head coaching position, but they also it was the worst kept secret in HBCU football because they already knew they were going to peg Sean Gibbs, who was once an assistant coach with A&T for 11 seasons. He was responsible for developing Torrey Coyne as a running back, and he went on to the National Football League. But Gibbs comes back. He's now the head man after 3 seasons at Fort Valley State University. Talk about that hire, and what are your thoughts on that hire specifically, Coach?
Well, I thought it was a great hire. Of course, it's going to be some pressure on Coach Gibbs because of the championship status. I don't know, but I think Miles won the championship this year and last year, and so I do know he has a winning record at Fort Valley State.
Right.
But going into this situation is very difficult. He's going to be dealing with an impatient fan base. Cool. We talk about that. He's going to have to win in year 1. And so, but I do think he has the mindset to go in and get a game plan together. But keep in mind, this is another blue blood HBCU program. It's no more processes. We said that to these coaches going into these jobs. You can forget about the processes. Everybody want to win in year 1. And if he doesn't have the mindset and the game plan to go into that tough environment and win year 1, Kyle, it's going to be devastating for him.
Cool.
Well, my message is, and that's a great hire, my message is to the people affiliated with the Virginia Union football program. The team suffered a big loss yesterday to Valdosta State in the playoffs. Don't get into the talk of running your coach off. Give him a chance to build on what you've got to build on. They got you to the second round of the playoffs this year, which is big in my opinion. The second round of those playoffs, and you got a chance to pick up some other kids and enhance your program a little bit more. I go back again. I know people are in a hurry, but I just reiterate: just have a little patience. Give them a little bit more time, and you may be surprised with what you get instead of having to start all over every.
Why do so many dogs die before their time? Actress and dog activist Katherine Heigl, who's helped save over 16,000 dogs through her foundation, says she's seeing more issues with dogs' joints, odors, and health than ever before. And after doing a ton of research, she feels there's one place we can look to support any dog's health: their food. So she decided to create something she could actually feel good about feeding her dogs. Superfood Complete by Badlands Ranch is made with over 30 of the healthiest ingredients on the planet, including premium protein-packed beef, nutrient-dense organ meat, heart-healthy salmon, gut-healthy vegetables, and several superfoods vital to your dog's health. And because high-heat cooking can add unhealthy things to your dog's food, Superfood Complete uses air drying, so it gets cooked low and slow. This means it has the convenience of kibble, but the health benefits of whole foods. If you want your dog to experience all these incredible benefits, go to badlandsranch.com/save50 right now to get up to 50% off your order and a 90-day money-back guarantee. Again, that's BADLANDS ranch.com/save50 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary.
When personal finance connects you to both your funds and the stuff that matters, that's money. And that's Cash App. Know what else is money?
Using Cash App to request that $50 your cousin owes you.
Actually, finally, getting that $50.
Easily divvying up those pizza and wing checks before your boys have a chance to slip out.
Tipping the delivery guy when you're flat out of cash.
Hearing an awesome musician on the train home and tipping their cash tag.
Sending everyone in your family group chat $1 just because.
Splitting the cost of tickets to that really expensive sporting event you were afraid you were going to have to foot the bill for.
Watching your paycheck grow without you lifting a finger.
Collecting all that money for your fantasy football winnings.
Or at least easily shelling out that money for your fantasy football dues.
Getting paid to read a wonderful ad script from my good friends at Cash App.
Sending, spending, saving, splitting, tipping, donating, gifting, or just typing numbers, all with the #1 finance app in the App Store. That's money. That's Cash App.
Download Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today to create your own cash tag.
In DC, it's not always easy to save. But with unlimited welcome from Verizon, saving on your phone bill's never been easier, even if you're on a single line. For a limited time, single lines start at just $50 a month when you bring your own phone, with autopay plus taxes and fees. That's a savings of $15 a month. And when you switch now, you can save on the things you love, like Netflix and Max, all on the most awarded 5G network. Now that's savings all of DC can agree on. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. But this offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today. $180 BYOD promo credit and $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months. For new customers with one new line with your own 4G or 5G phone on unlimited welcome plan required. Additional terms apply. Autopay and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. $10 a month for each MyPlan perk. Additional terms and conditions apply per perk.
Well,
different people.
Dr. Alvin Parker, I don't think his job is in jeopardy at all at Virginia Union. He's done a tremendous job with the Panthers. He has
Kyle, it shouldn't be.
No.
But you look at what's been happening, Kyle. You have to admit.
Well, this is the direction I'm going head into. This is the direction I'm going into right now, Coop. I'm about to say that be on the lookout for his name going into these other programs. His name has been mentioned as a possible candidate for Prairie View A&M. He also has a chance to stay in that area with the Norfolk State Spartans. So, I mean, there's still possibilities that if a program wants to upgrade, you could be able to look at what Dr. Parker has been able to do. Look, he found a 2,000-yard running back, rushing young with Jada Byers, who is up for the Harlan Hill Award as the top Division II most outstanding player this year.
Okay, right.
So
what are you saying? But Kyle, what I'm saying is, Kyle,
they're not going to run the man.
Just like Dr.
They're not
Golf,
running them off.
Dr. Golf already had a pocket full of money to deal with. Enough money to go out and hire an agency to come in and help him find a coach. Now, finding a coach should be the AD's job where I'm from.
Right.
The athletic director's job, along with, then he makes the consideration to the president. But nowadays, you got to have an outside agency to help you come in and find somebody to coach your football team instead of giving these coaches the money. So I'm going back now to Virginia Union. They need to give, I don't know what the man's contract looks like. I'm not his agent, never met him before, whatever. But I do know this. Where he went this year, he needs to be coming into some Christmas money, Kwanzaa money.
Some Kwanzaa money.
Yeah, they should be. Hey, look at what happened. They went to the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they lost to the team many people feel will win the whole thing.
Right.
Valdosta. Yeah, State. So, but you have to reward people. See, and especially, I can understand it when you don't have any money, when the finances are slow and the money is not coming in. But when the money is coming in and you've got the money, and the money's coming from the different deals that they have now, the first thing they should do is reward the coaches and upgrade the coaching staffs.
Well, and that's a great point.
That's part of the A&M system. If I'm part of the A&M system, I'm the head football coach. There's no reason I shouldn't be making 10% of what the coach is making at Texas A&M. There's no reason.
Yeah.
I'm part of the same system.
It's part of the same system.
But you got to have the right people hollering and screaming for you. People coming in like Al Sharpton and all of them making their own deals. That ain't going to work for you, Kyle.
Or Ralph Cooper.
It's supposed to be working for you. Which could be working for you.
They can have a Ralph Cooper working for them, But anyway, all right,
I
cool.
wouldn't do Al Sharpton on him.
I think you did on Tuesday. But anyway,
No money was involved.
all right. Hey guys, the Celebration Bowl is coming up this Saturday with Jackson State versus South Carolina State. But there's so many other great games to be able to select from. So my suggestion is to use the mobile app from Underdog Fantasy. It's my favorite because I get to select my favorite players, select their best stats, and I can choose higher or lower for any of those guys. I get to make the call. So that's like going to say, hey, would Irv Mulligan rush for over 100 yards today? Yes, higher. If I believe that the South Carolina State will limit the Jackson State offense to 2 touchdowns, lower. It's up to me. But you got to be able to play the way you see fit. So don't forget, you have to be 18 years or older to be able to play, or 19 years or older in Alabama, Nebraska, and as well as Colorado, or 21 and older in Massachusetts or Arizona. Terms apply. If you're concerned about your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, go to 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24-HOPE line at 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play. With the Celebration Bowl ahead, as well as all the college football left in the season, use Underdog for your pick'ems. You make the call, use Underdog. But don't forget, use our promo code HBCU Legends to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Take care and have fun with Underdog. I think Parker has a good chance, but the one guy that I guess we're kind of leaving out of this equation is the young man over at Valdosta State, Tremaine Jackson. Yeah, yes. I mean, what he's been able to do, being one, the first black in that whole conference to be able to get a head coaching job and to be able to continually win the way they have been able to do. His name should be mentioned, as well as a candidate for Alabama State, Norfolk, or Prairie View at this time. What's your thoughts, Coach?
You mean Alabama A&M, right?
A&M, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm going to say something about Division II coaches because I've been in it a long time and I've kind of just seen, it's a different ball game when you talk about Division II and Division I. You're dealing with more corporate people. The administration is bigger. Everything's bigger. And what I'm hearing out of Alabama A&M, that was some of Coach Maynard's downfall. Coming from the Division II level, coming up on Division I. Well, he was a successful coach on the Division II level. And then you come in Division I where everything's bigger. You have no sleep. You have no time for rest. So we're skipping all of our HBCU SWAC coaches, and we're just going to give it to the Division II guy. I don't agree with that because guess what? Everything is bigger. And then when you hire these guys and then you say, hey, well, they won at Division II. Well, guess what? Division II don't have no rules. You got to be in compliance on the Division I level. All these coaches going to make the big adjustments. That has yet to be seen, Mr. Cooper. And so, I mean, I'm just not going to – I mean, it's good what they're doing on the Division II level, but after what I've seen and how many years that they gave Coach Cardinal Maynard to get it correct at Alabama A&M, I'm not going to skip over the SWAC assistant coaches that are willingly and deserving of a shot in head jobs. I'm just not going to move them forward before these guys.
Well, with these jobs that are open now, we got a number of jobs open now. I understand where you're coming from, and hopefully all of them will make the right hire. But you cannot overlook people who are special people. Some of these coaches are special people.
I agree.
Who are coming from Division II. And when you look at what's happening at Valdosta State, special situation. You looked at what happened at Benedict. That was a special situation. You even go back a little ways and you look at what Johnny Cole did at Lane College, and when he came over to Texas Southern, sure he ended up with some problems, but look at what he did. there's some people who are exceptional and can make things happen on that level coming from Division II, and I don't think, in my opinion, I wouldn't hesitate to interview any of those people, because that may be just the person that you need. Because one thing that they have knowledge of, they know how to work with less money. They know how to build programs with less money, and you've got a compliance group that now that's going to keep everything in order in regards to the grades. So, and when you can get a coach with some energy, to come out there and coach your people and inspire them to go to class and get degrees, which is the main thing, I think that's where the Division II coaches come in, who can do the job. You have to interview these people. You know, there's no reason Barry never touched the ground in Texas last year to be interviewed.
There is a reason he didn't touch the ground, because he wasn't invited.
Yeah, I know he was, but there's no reason that it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it should not have happened.
He should have been allowed to walk around the campus of Texas Southern University,
right,
and and explain what he could do with that facility and everything else they had working over there. And like now, you've got a job opening at Prairie View. To deny a Division II coach, I understand Henry Frazier's name has come up again. He's been there before, right?
Right.
And then you mentioned Johnson. So you've got a number of these coaches. But see, most people now, they're going to go for the big name. I want me
let me say this part.
Bring Ed Reed in for the interview.
Yeah, let me say this part. And one guy told me, he said, when you look at some of these potential hires, look at the ADs and the past relationships that they had with these coaches, either as head coaches or assistant coaches at previous stints. And that can draw some of the, connect some of the dots to where the potential hires are going to land. So just keep those in mind, especially with the A&M situation. So right now we still have the opening at Alabama A&M, Delaware State, Elizabeth City, Lane College, Mississippi Valley State, Norfolk State, Prairie View, and Shaw. Those are the openings still available.
Most or all will make the wrong picks. That's my prediction right now. History says most or all will make the wrong pick. Y'all can laugh all you want to. History says, from what my history that I've been reading, all of them or most of them will fail.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that.
Well, let me
Ted,
say.
I heard. Hold on, Coach. I heard a rumor.
The people making the decisions don't know what they're doing.
Okay, I heard a rumor that Teddy Keaton is also the young coach out of Clark, Atlanta, is being considered for that A&M spot. But go on, Coach.
Alabama A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay.
But let me say this too. We have to be mindful now that the head coaching position is not just X's and O's anymore. You know, does this guy fit the profile of the program? Can he promote the university? Can he do NIL deals? It's more to it than the X's and O's. Yeah, they want to win, but I've heard a lot of winning ADs say, hey, we winning, we still don't have no money. Well, you falling short of the promotion of your program.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? And so, I think we have to look at all that into choosing a HBCU coach, not just a coach, a HBCU coach that knows how to promote the program, that knows X's and O's, that knows how to recruit a quarterback, that knows how to get along with the administration, and that is administrative connected. And what I mean by that, can he go in and raise money for his program as a head coach? You got you just don't have that right now.
Well, I still go back. My confidence level in what's happening with the HBCUs and the football coaches and the SWAC office, the commissioners, is at a all-time low when it should be at an all-time high. They've got more resources to work with than ever before. I'm talking about the conferences. They've got more resources. You've got the TV deals now. You can even get more TV deals. You've got what's the other one there with Byron Allen?
Yeah, HBCU Go.
Yeah, you got all these deals going on, right? There's no reason that you shouldn't have success in regards to your program. But I go back, some of these people are not competent enough to run these positions, and hopefully the right coaches will be selected. But where I don't have the confidence, where I'm basing what I'm saying on the people who are making the decisions to hire coaches, they have about as much ability to hire coaches as I do to hire parts or pick parts out for a spaceship, if you understand where I'm coming from. They're lost. These people are lost. They don't really understand the product they have. You bring in these people from these major universities, they want to come in and think they still at a major university running a program like they came from. And you're coming into a program where the situation is different in regards to the monies, but they still think they can run it like things were run at the other university they came from. But the other big thing that many of them have, they didn't learn anything while they were on those jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you this, and from this standpoint, when fans talk about the fact that we want to win, we want a winner, right? And I'm thinking Coach McDowell didn't have a negative until this season, right? He came in first in the SWAC West, his first 2 seasons. This season, they fell off, right? So this season, Chris Dishman is what, 5-7 for the year?
Yes.
So if Chris Dishman doesn't get over 6 wins next season, are they going to bring out the pitch forks and everything else on him?
It'll start if he loses the Prairie View game. It'll start then. Yes. That's
Coach,
that's the irony.
Yeah. So, and let me throw this over to Coach. And I asked you this question last year. Remember, Coach, why in Baton Rouge did Dooley, who brought Southern to the championship game, the next season the man loses, they ran him off? Why? What's going on?
I say this. I keep saying this. It's certain programs in the HBCUs that are not starter programs, and you can't go in and not either be in a championship game or have a winning record. And Southern University is one of them. It just doesn't have to do with doing it. Look how many championships Pete Richardson won year in and year out. He went on like a 10-year run. And so they're not going to lower the Blue and Gold Nation, that club over there, and then you have the Legends. I mean, they're not going to lower their standard. I've talked to plenty of Southern Knights that say they can't afford to not to lower their standards and say, hey, we're going to give a coach 3 years. No, they used to championships, and that's how they're going to roll with their program. Along with FAMU Jackson.
They used to championships, but they haven't won a national championship in more than 10 years. Hey, guys, the Celebration Bowl is coming up this Saturday with Jackson State versus South Carolina State. But there's so many other great games to be able to select from. So my suggestion is to use the mobile app from Underdog Fantasy. It's my favorite because I get to select my favorite players, select their best stats, and I can choose higher or lower for any of those guys. I get to make the call. So that's like going to say, hey, would Irv Mulligan rush for over 100 yards today? Yes. Higher if I believe that the South Carolina State will limit the Jackson State offense to 2 touchdowns. Lower. It's up to me. But you got to be able to play the way you see fit. So don't forget, you have to be 18 years or older to be able to play, or 19 years or older in Alabama, Nebraska, and as well as Colorado, or 21 and older in Massachusetts or Arizona. Terms apply. If you're concerned about your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, go to 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783. Or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24 HOPE line at 877-8-HOPE-NY. Or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play. With the Celebration Bowl ahead, as well as all the college football left in the season, use Underdog for your pick'ems. You make the call, use Underdog. But don't forget, use our promo code HBCU Legends to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Take care and have fun with Underdog.
Well, I just said, what's at stake. And the money that they rely on from athletics, the football program covers all athletics. So the way they have it organized and just the way they have their organizational chart, football is the breadwinner at Southern University. They're not going to lower their standards in that. And I have to agree with them. I just don't, Grambling is going along with that as well. Certain amount of these programs, they can't afford to do that.
So Grambling is in trouble. If Mickey Joseph is in trouble if he doesn't bring a winner next year, right?
Well, I'm going to say, I didn't know that they let go of Coach Dooley yesterday.
Yeah. No, it was Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying with these programs. I think what's going to happen since they have eliminated the 3-year process, this is the thing that's going to happen, and you and Coop help me out on this. I think in the offseason, to give these coaches the 3-year processes that they need, either your ADs and your presidents are going to make the money for football before it starts, which I doubt it. If not, you're going to keep having this revolving door. If they're going to go out in the offseason and raise $10 million and say, hey, this is for football. Now you can give your coach 3 years. If we have a following season, hey, we got the money in the budget to make up for it. If not, it's going to be the same way.
But my theory is that the universities should back off on listening to these non-fundraising alumni groups who want to influence the program. Their money. Okay, you cannot be giving the same money you gave 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 years ago in regards to enhancing a football program at one of these HBCUs, in my opinion. If you're giving the same money to that athletic program that you gave or the football program that you gave 2 or 3 years ago, if I was coaching, I wouldn't want you around my program. You have to give more money. You want some freebies, tickets, T-shirts, equipment, some shoes. You don't want to give any money into the program, but the money you gave 2 or 3 years ago, that's gone. And see, that's what I'm saying. The bad influence. They listen to the wrong people. That's why the people who start these rumors about coaching changes are usually alumni groups, because their nephew or cousin or somebody didn't get a scholarship, or the coach didn't interview them right in regards to giving somebody in their family a scholarship, or somebody that they think should deserve a scholarship. But you don't want to increase the funds that should be going into the program's athletic budget at this time as a fundraiser. So that's what I'm saying. Those individuals are having too much influence, in my opinion, in these programs. They played a role in Dooley being run off at leaving Prairie View and going to Southern. Then it plays a role in McKinney not being given another year at Texas Southern. It plays a role now in what happened to McDowell, Bubba McDowell over at Prairie View. So that's what I think. That's one of the problems I think's out there.
And
too.
you know what?
Stop that.
Yeah, and Vaughn Wilson stated this yesterday. He said, so y'all wanted to run Simmons off from FAMU. Yeah. Now look, he's right back in Florida.
And he's going to recruit well in Florida.
Oh, yeah, Florida. Kyle, I just got a text in from the alumnus at Delaware State, Angela. She's saying that what should Delaware State do? They've been changing coaches for the last 5 years. She want to hear our opinion. She told me to ask you that.
Get an efficient minded athletic director with a future on his in his
They already
mind.
got the athletic director. They fired the
Well,
young
they,
lady.
but
No, they fired the young lady. Then they hired Tony.
when did they hire him?
Right,
Yeah,
right after it.
Well, she's staying. Well, apparently she's not satisfied.
No, she got run off, but she went and put in that she's leaving for a new opportunity. So what they did was, as soon as she left the position, they
Yes.
hired. Let me get his name. It's in this press release because they let Tony Tucker. Tony Tucker is now. He was the senior associate VP right underneath her, so they elevated him into the VP position.
Well, since Kyle, you seem to be in favor of this individual.
No,
I
I don't know.
either.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I think you do. But anyway, I think the young lady should. I think she should do is have a meeting with the guy.
Right.
Go meet the man before we take a drastic move on it. Go call a meeting that you want to have him to come and meet with you and your alumni group. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 of you, whatever it is. You invite him to lunch or dinner or whatever. If he wants you to come to his office, go to his office. And then have what you think written down, what you think he should be concerned with. Don't go in with a blank mind. You can't remember what you're going to ask, just write it. There's nothing wrong with writing it down and having what you're going to ask him in your presence when you go in. And I think that's a fair way to handle that, Kyle. I know you, Kyle. I know you know the man. I can tell his voice.
Somebody is used to the cold weather too.
Yeah, but I can tell by Kyle's voice. He knows the man. Kyle, Sunday morning.
Hey, Kyle know who the coach gonna be too, though.
Well,
Yes,
Tony
I know
Tucker
Kyle.
is a lifelong educator who spent more than 30 years of positively impacting the lives of students of all ages. This is his bio. But anyway, man, why not Donald Driver? Donald Driver is up there.
Is he an assistant coach?
You know, Donald Driver gave them millions of dollars to be able to start some sort of athletic initiative up there.
He played in the area. Yeah, he played in the area.
So
yeah, he Donald Driver's from Houston. He's from Millby High School.
yeah, wouldn't he be a good coach?
If he wanted to coach, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They should mention his name because he's if he wanted to coach, but he can do anything. But you have to know his history to understand where he and his family are from. He could do anything he wanted to do.
He has a great personality, right?
Right, and the willpower to do that.
Yeah.
And he's from Millby High School down here in Houston for the
SWAC Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Alcorn State.
Yeah. So
And
you think he'll take the Delaware State job?
we're gonna put that out as a rumor right now.
he should be. One thing that wouldn't hurt him because he's in that area is to talk to him about the job. See, they mention all these other names. They're always mentioning these other guys' names. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. Their names always pop up. Some other Harrisons and all their names always come up. But that would be probably a good choice if he wanted to do that.
Yeah, because right now what he's doing, he owns and operates the Driven Elite Fitness and Health Centers, and that's what he had partnered with Delaware State to be able to help them out when it came down to getting those young men ready physically and healthy and eating better as well. So, but also think about this. Delaware State also announced earlier this season they're going to be the first HBCU to have a covered indoor facility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
See, one of the great products from Delaware State is the late Conway Hayman.
mhm.
Conway Hayman blocked for Earl Campbell with the Houston Oilers. They were not only great on the field, but they were also great off the field. And he was a gentleman who loved Delaware State. In fact, because of him, many of us learned about Delaware State first. But that name is Conway Hayman. But we go back to Donald Driver, though. See, Donald Driver would be just, like I said, he's from Houston. He's a Houstonian. And I know he's been living up in that area.
I could be wrong, Coop. But I know Donald Driver, and I seen his work ethic. I watched him in camp and his platform at Green Bay. I think this would be a great hire for Prairie View. Even though he's an Alcorn alum, but he's a big. I went to one of his functions in Houston, and it was people everywhere. But as far as the football, and you're right, they always mention Ed Reed and Ray Lewis, but Donald Driver, the Prairie View, will set that city on fire.
Well, Coach, you have to understand. You have to understand when he's not in that agency, that his name didn't pop up in that agency. Probably. See, that goes back again when you have people on the ground.
Who knows?
People on the ground helping you you pick a coach or come up with some names for you to pick from. That's why I say that's greater than these agencies, because in most cases they have nobody on the agency that's maybe even stepped on a black college campus before. So you got them helping you pick your football coach, and they never stepped on the campus, and the culture and all that never comes in. So that's why I say I would take that a different way, But I don't think Donald Driver. I don't think the people at Prairie View at this particular time, under the leadership that they're under, would make such a consideration. Maybe not even call him in. I mean, even talk to him on the telephone to see if he was interested. But they're going to go with the agency. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
So and so Hillard University. So and so coach over here from blah 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 university.
All right, so let's turn our attention one more time back to the Celebration Bowl before we get off the line here. The odds are out already, and the Jackson State Tigers are, get this, not a 1-point favorite, not a 6-point favorite, a 10.5-point favorite over the South Carolina Bulldogs. Are you kidding me? Vegas.
I'm gonna let you go first, Coop.
If any of you are betting people, and I know some of you are listening, don't get trapped up in that. Leave that alone. Don't bet against. I mean, you got T.C. Taylor against Trennis Berry. You got a South Carolina State football team that's played well this season, and you got a Jackson State team that's played well. Just got through playing good in the second half of the game. I don't. What's the spread again, Kyle?
10.5.
If I was making that bet, I'm going with South Carolina State. Maybe not to win the game, but to play within that.
Cover that spread.
I think Jackson State will win the game, but I don't think. I may be wrong. I have to, and I've been picking. Now, the two of you know better than anybody. I've been with Coach Taylor from the start of the season, but it's hard for me to pick Jackson State to beat South Carolina State by 10.5 points. So yes, I'm taking South Carolina State in the 10.5 points, and I'm gonna put on a South Carolina State sweater to prove it. I would put my but hey, it could happen. But I just don't see it. I just think Wichita is the better team. I think Jackson is the better team, but I don't think South Carolina State is that far behind them.
Coach?
Well, it's this thing in Jackson that they call now the no-fly zone. And Jackson State defensive backs, they're going to intercept the ball and sack the great Eric Phoenix, not once, not twice, but 3 or 4 times. It's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a 14-7 win. But if we have Morgan, keep in mind Morgan was hurt. We don't know the status of him. But if he comes back, I think it's going to be a 21-7 win, Jackson State.
And McDonald, he was cramping up early in that game. So I think they're going to give him more hydration.
Yeah, right.
Just in case, right?
But, Coach, I know your favorite place is shut down here. I'm going to call you out publicly right now.
Who is that?
Turkey Leg Hut.
Turkey Leg Hut is gone.
Oh, okay.
No more.
Okay, so you're saying that Jackson State will win this game by more than 10.5 points. That's what you're saying.
Right. I'm saying that just because Jackson State offensive line is massive.
And I respect your knowledge of football and everything, and especially your knowledge of great food. I know you love great food like I do. So can we put a meal on this, Coach? I'm taking South Carolina. You give me 10.5 points.
Yeah, I can call my peoples at Papa Do's on.
I don't care where you call. I know wherever you call, the food is good. You can call Rab's Rib Shack. The food is gonna be good. But anyway, so I've got South Carolina State, Kyle. Now, Kyle, you're our arbitrator, and the listeners.
Yeah.
I've got South Carolina State, and I'm getting 10.5 points. Although I think Jackson State will win the game, but not by 10.5 points. That's the bet, Coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Very, very, very interesting. Well, I have to tell you. I have to tell you, I respect you men very, very highly.
Yeah.
But like I always say, it's 1-0, baby. And we're going to come in and do what we have to do. Because we're the dogs. We got some dogs in us. But also, we got the Lord on our side.
Yeah, that's Barry. He's going to trend his Barry.
We're going to prove, just like Coach Buddy proved them all wrong. Willie Jeffries back in the day proved them wrong. That's why they brought me in, to prove them wrong again. Bulldogs, baby. Let's go. Let's go, dogs.
Coach, he answered who he's with the dogs. He's on my side.
Yeah.
Hey,
look,
I love it. Hey, Kyle, can you get me in on that pregame speech? I love to hear it before the championship game.
Look, I had to concur with this one dude. He said today on Dr. Cavill's show, he said, man, I never played a down of football in my life. But when I heard Chittisberry give a pregame speech, I was ready to suit up. Yeah, that's just how he is. But you know what? T.C. Taylor also. I saw his pregame.
People too.
Yeah, I saw his pregame speech before the Southern game yesterday. Very, very inspirational, man. So both of those guys have the ear of their players, and both of those teams love those coaches. So much respect to those guys. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this during the week. Go ahead, Coop.
I'll find some, if I'm coming over to Atlanta, I'd like to go to, what's the place? You know what I'm talking about. Find some change, Kyle. Find some change. That's all I'm going to say. Find some chump change, Kyle.
Chump change. Yeah, I'm a chump.
I want to go to what's the place?
What, Pascal's?
The famous night spot that was there back in the day. Been there for years. They tell me the talent there is better than ever before. They said they've got more first round.
Oh, you talking about Magic City.
Find some change, Kyle.
You talking about Magic City.
Coach,
you talking about Atlanta?
Yeah, you talking about Atlanta.
Coach, Coach would go with me. Coach would go with me. Coach,
man, I gotta keep my money in my pocket. So anyway,
we'll be all right.
We have several young men who also were voted on to the box to row HBCU All-American team. Cool. And Coach, for Tuesday, I would like for us to come up with some of our own teams.
Okay. No
HBCU young men who should be recognized. So we'll talk a little bit about that going forward. Right. But before I get on off, guys, any last comments, thoughts, criticisms?
And good luck to Anton Golf. Get himself together.
Hopefully you're hard on AD Golf, boy.
Well, I know you got the tape running right into his office. Golf, baby. You can still call Bubba back. You looked around. I'll give you an out. We looked around, ladies and gentlemen. We looked around. We got a list of people, candidates from blah, blah, there and blah, blah, there. And we decided one more year, we're going to give Bubba one more year to come on back here and get the program. See, because the other thing that they're losing on, they're losing on these recruits, especially in the Houston area that they may be able to get. I'm not talking about the blue chippers. I'm not talking about the Cornell X's and all them. I'm talking about those second-line players that can end up at Jackson, Alabama State, Southern, Sam Houston State. That's where they're losing. They're losing those particular kids at this particular time. We're going into the third week of high school football playoffs. North Shore, Tascasita. North Shore, Tascasita was eliminated by North Shore yesterday, but Summer Creek is still playing. We've got football players down here. Looking for places. Yeah. But North Shore has enough football players where someone could come in and get the second group of kids.
Second tier.
That may not be, the second that may not be starting, or somebody who may have started, who may be developing a little bit later. You can pick up some of these people, but it's right in the backyard of Prairie View. But no noise coming from golf. Where is he, Kyle? I know you're gonna talk to him later today. Tell him I said hello. Kyle, wait, coach. Kyle.
Yeah.
You've talked to the man recently, haven't you? Yes or no?
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, yes.
Yeah, okay. And you're planning on talking to him soon.
That's my plan is to have a follow-up, yes.
Yeah, Coach, that's what I'm talking about. He's talking to me all the time.
Hey, that's between you and Kyle, man. I'm out of here.
Hey, man. Hey, but just want to you hope they make the right hire, and you hope that things work out. You hate to see what's happening at Grambling with Mosley. I thought they would be better. I hate to see what happened with the young man in Mississippi Valley. I thought he could have been given I thought he would have been given a little bit more time. But like you said, they want to win right now, but they don't want to pay real money. They don't want to win real money. They want a football program with monopoly money, which is play money. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And Coach, be real about this, Coach. We know I know Kyle.
Yeah. He playing both sides, cool.
You know it already.
Well, I vehemently dismiss that. That's a possibility.
I'm gone.
Well, look, guys. Just two quick things before we get off. Zion McDowell, guess what? He has some great lineage.
Yes.
Deuce McAllister is his uncle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if you guys did not know that, Deuce McAllister, great football player from New Orleans Saints, my favorite Saints player of all time.
Is he trying to get one of these jobs?
No. Deuce already said he don't want to coach. He already told me that. He said, I don't want to coach. I don't want to coach. So he's happy being the analyst for the Saints News. I mean, not the Saints News, for the Saints Radio.
Do you believe it?
I believe him. I do. He doesn't want to coach. And congratulations to Southern yesterday for their basketball team for defeating Tulsa 70-66. Great road win for the Jaguars.
Right. And I see our lady Tamika Reed is doing quite well at North Carolina State.
Yes.
Well, hopefully that keeps up for her also. And but Kyle.
Yes, sir.
I heard the other name that he said that he didn't want to coach no more. I'm just happy being an analyst and doing the games right. I don't want no coaching no anymore. Well, Johnny Cole, 2 or 3 weeks later, the whole conversation went the other way, Coach.
Yeah.
You understand? Now he's interested in coaching again. Am I right, Kyle?
Yes, Coach is always interested in coaching. All right, let's just put that out there. He's always interested in coaching. So
and you got 7 or 8 jobs out there. And he may be good for one of those jobs. I mean,
coach is good for all of those jobs. He even as a offensive coordinator, he's an excellent choice. But the compliance people have shut it down, and they keep shutting it down. And we got to figure out a way to help him get over that hump.
They shut it down again.
They shut it down, and the reason why they chose Dooley, they first wanted Cole. But they couldn't. The compliance lady in Grambling wouldn't let it through because of the.
But maybe a year later, with what they got over at Grambling right now, they need to call him back up.
They should have. I'm thinking if you don't want him as an official coordinator, you can at least have him as a consultant, right?
Well, that's the same group of people that ran off Art Bowles. He was on the campus, right? He had landed.
He was on the campus. Yep. So anyway, guys, let me get on off here. Cool.
What's the name of this program? What's your name? Who
It's
have I been talking
HBCU
to?
Legends.
Who I've been talking to for the last
Yeah,
hour?
you know who you talking to, Coop. Come on.
I don't know. My memory is bad.
Tell
like
everybody
Joe.
how they can follow you, Coop.
We go KCOH 1380 in Houston, KCOH 1380 AM in Houston, KCOH the source on the internet, the simple radio app. Just hit when you get in there, search for KCOH, and then you can find me at Ralph Cooper's Facebook Live, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., and also 6 p.m. To 7 or 8 p.m., depending on what's happening in sports. So you catch me twice in one day. So I'm batting a double hitter right now, and I'm hitting pretty good.
Yeah,
average-wise.
yeah, you're doing really, really good. I listened to
For a
you.
guy my age, I'm batting 1,000.
Yeah, well,
These youngsters don't really want to work these days. Coach doesn't really want to work. He works 8 hours a day. Kyle works a little bit more than 8 hours a day.
I'm about to
Coach
say
probably
you.
does
Yeah, I know I work more.
but these guys, they're almost 15, 16 hour day guys out there. So I applaud them for what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen. And then I say to Antoine, golf again.
All right. Let's get off Coach Golf.
Coach Bubba McDowell said, "Ooh, E2,
Antoine, E2. All right, Coach, how they can find you on the World Wide Web, man?
Yeah.
Check me out at tycoonleague2@gmail.com. Also with the great Kyle T. Mosley at HBCU Legends.net.
Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. Don't forget, follow us at HBCU Legends. Don't forget to follow Coop on KCOH on
Tuesdays.
on Tuesday nights.
We have Coach and you on also on Tuesday nights. We get the FCC. The FCC relieves all duties and rules, and they allow me to have Kyle and Coach on at the same time on Tuesdays. Okay, bye.
On Friday, for Radio Row and at the Celebration Bowl, we'll probably do something during your lunch hour. Try to see if we can give you a couple of interviews to put on on your stream. Okay. He already left. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. We are out. We'll talk to you guys later. We'll talk about Celebration Bowl the rest of the week. Take care. Bye.
In DC, it's not always easy to save. But with unlimited welcome from Verizon, saving on your phone bill's never been easier, even if you're on a single line. For a limited time, single lines start at just $50 a month when you bring your own phone, with autopay plus taxes and fees. That's a savings of $15 a month. And when you switch now, you can save on the things you love, like Netflix and Max, all on the most awarded 5G network. Now that's savings all of DC can agree on. There's never been a better time to switch to the network America relies on. But this offer won't last long. Visit your local Verizon store to switch and save big today. $180 BYOD promo credit and $360 local promo credit applied over 36 months. For new customers with one new line with your own 4G or 5G phone on unlimited welcome plan required. Additional terms apply. Autopay and paper-free billing required. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. $10 a month for each MyPlan perk. Additional terms and conditions apply per perk.